Hello everybody and welcome back to my forever world. Today we're going to be working on a couple little projects, and the first one is going to be to continue adding a little bit more to this structure here. But the first thing I want to do is I want to go over to my Enderman farm and repair all my tools because I don't like to see the degradation on them. I'm absolutely loving how this happy gas area looks. But anyways, let me head over to the end portal. So over here in the end, we do have this Enderman farm right here. I know there are more efficient farms nowadays, but I just like this design and it's good enough for me, so I'm gonna keep it. Alright, now that's how we like to see our tools and armor looking. There's just something to it, having it all filled out like this. Welcome to the end dimension, by the way. I know it's super bare, literally nothing has been done here, ever. I actually had some minor builds here a long time ago, but during one of the major updates, I did end up resetting the entire end dimension just because it was like the outdated version of it. I think it's the update when the end islands came out. I had to redo the whole dimension. So I sacrificed all the builds I had here, and ever since we really haven't touched this dimension in this world, which is a shame because being my main world and my forever world, I think we definitely have to do something. So this project is on my to-do list. We are going to get to it eventually. I don't know when we're going to get around to it, but I just want to say that I do want to do it really bad. However, for the time being, we're just going to head back. So as we learned from building the walls and floorings of the whole base, we're going to need a large amount of blocks for the ceiling. Now, as much as I would like to add the following rooms into this building, I do have to kind of get finished up on the roof of these hallways right here. Otherwise, I'm never going to progress on it and I'm just going to keep pushing it back. So let's do the responsible thing for once. So we just have to go around the entire perimeter here, putting down the stairs. Now, I just finished the lining up here with the deep slate stairs. I'm going to need a few more deep slate blocks here as well as some spruce logs to finish up the frame of the curve of the hallway. And then the last one will be prismarine blocks to go for the ceiling. So let's take a quick trip to get some spruce wood. Alrighty, update time here. So I did a good chunk of progress over here with the wood and the deep slate. And then we started to fill out one hallway with the final roof prismarine blocks and the lighting features as well. And now over here, we're starting to decorate a little bit the columns so that we have more textures in here. The other hallways are still very bare bone, but at least this one will give us a better idea of where we're headed towards. Yeah, this place is gonna look sick when it's finished. I need to light this area up. And just to fill you guys in, I did continue working a little bit on the stairwell here to the second floor, which is actually going to be an exterior floor. So this wood plank color right here is going to be for the exterior pathways. And then over there, the skulk is going to be the interior walkways. So you may or may not recognize this place right here. This is our dye town that's going to be producing all the dyes for the world. And I've come over here because I wanted to do some improvements over here and then also get some farming done. I do have other farms throughout this world, but I just want to be focusing more on the newer builds, at least for these episodes. Now I do at some point want to have a whole episode dedicated to banner making because I want to theme every area in this world with different banners. Come on, can I get out? There we go. Let's get these guys going. Come on, mushrooms. There you go. Mushrooms, what are they? Come on, mushrooms. Let's get eating. I love the way these guys contrast with the biome behind them. It's such a perfect pop to the color of the area, especially because in this biome you do sometimes find mushrooms. Okay, now that that's done, let's come back over here. Now we want to get a bunch of all these different colors here. I don't want the farms to be overrun by sheep, but I definitely do want more, so in this situation that we want to come back to get wool, we can get a larger amount at once. And usually I would build an automatic farm for something like this, but I've been thinking my wool needs aren't that big in this world anyways. So I'm thinking I'm just going to leave it as a manual kind of farming area. And then that way it's a more interactive place too, because I don't want to just come here to pick up items. I want to feel like it's lived in. Plus it's really fun to interact with all the sheep and feed them and such. I might make an automatic farm just for the white wool. That is the most satisfying farm ever. Oh, I didn't even see these guys. Oh, hello. Cool. Speaking of banners. Oh, well, there you go. What's that meme of the farmer? It's something like, it's simple work, but it's honest work. Something about honest work, I don't know. Basically me right now. It ain't much, but it's honest work. Well, hello there, sniffers. How you guys doing? What's up? Hello, Mr. Gast. Just paying everyone a visit here. Hope you guys don't mind. You know, when I first built it, I wasn't too sold on the design, but it's kind of growing on me. You know what? I think today's gonna be a farming episode. I think we're gonna use this time to clean up some things and harvest other farms. Maybe even move items over to where they're supposed to go. But I also like to walk around and just enjoy the nice views and builds that we've got around here. Ooh, let's harvest the netherwort. Fields and fields of endless netherwort. You know, I probably haven't harvested this farm in years because I don't even need this much netherwort, but when the urge hits to just destroy a farm, it just feels really nice. Out of inventory space. I should make an ASMR video out of this. Is it just me or does the netherwort make a funky sound when you plant it? I don't know, it's kind of weird to me. And finished. Oh geez, oh that was a lot of netherwort. I actually thought it would yield more than this. This is kind of little. I'm not gonna be doing that side though. And the cactus farm neither. Do I even want chorus flowers, you guys? Or chorus plants in general? I don't think so. What I am gonna collect is some bamboo here from my automatic farm as well as my sugarcane automatic farm. Now, I don't know how much they've been working because I don't really AFK over here. But let's take a look. Ooh. Oh. Oh. That is a lot of sugarcane. Okay. In that case, let's do this. Let's take 2 full shulker boxes. Yeah, let's do 2 shulkers. Or 3. Let's do... No, we should really do 4. Let's do 4. Because we never come here. Now with that load of sugarcane, that makes 4. Okay, cool. Let's take that with us. I think this is actually a good idea for you guys to see the Forever World and all the farms that I've been building in it. And of course, the bamboo farm is ridiculously full. Yeah, no, there's no slowing down this bamboo farm. Now that I think about it, with the new update, all the bamboo blocks, this is actually super useful. So let me get some more. I always keep a bunch of shulker boxes in my ender chest because storage is just such a slowdown in this game. We're going to be taking... Honestly, we could probably empty out the whole farm. Yeah, let's do that. Let's empty the whole farm. Or I don't know if we have enough storage for that. What I do want to do first is sleep. I'm going to sleep the night first. Hold on. I'm going to sleep the night first. Here it is. And I'm going to craft up... And I'm going to craft up some bamboo blocks. There we go. Oh, yeah. That's going to be way better. Way, way better. Let's bring these things down here. Right here will be perfect. What I really should be doing is using the new auto crafters and turning this into an auto bamboo block crafter. Oh, I thought when turning it into blocks it would take up so little space, but clearly I underestimated the production of this farm. Okay, I'm not going to collect anymore. So I mostly emptied out the chest and we got 1, 2, 3 completely full shulkers of blocks of bamboo. That is a convenience farm to have now that the bamboo blocks are a thing. So yeah, just to show you guys around, this is the bamboo farm. So essentially they're growing down here, and what'll happen is as soon as one bamboo grows to the maximum height, we've got some observers up there which detect it and send a redstone pulse down to these pistons here which break the entire row of bamboo. And then you can probably hear we have the minecart hoppers running underneath, and they're picking up all the bamboo items that fall on the ground. Now there is a little bit of loss in this farm because sometimes the bamboo items fall onto the existing bamboo shoots right here. So then you lose that item, but the fact that bamboo is so efficient itself, it really doesn't matter. Like I didn't even build this long ago, and then I didn't have it running for super long, but it filled out all those chests down there. And then the sugarcane farm is not the usual concept I follow. So this one actually uses a flying machine, and what will happen is like once a day, when it's day or night time, the flying machine will activate and it'll sweep across. Oh, speak of the devil. It sweeps across and breaks all the sugarcane. And same exact thing as the other one. There's a minecart hopper underneath, which goes and collects all the items off the ground. And then there's also a little collection system with the water here. So whatever doesn't get picked up or gets pushed all the way to the side, it gets shoved onto the rails for the minecart to pick up. I really gonna have to build automatic pumpkin and melon farms. I don't know why, but in this world, I've just put it off for so long, and I just don't feel like doing it. It's because I don't really ever need it, other than villager trading, which I already have covered in other parts of the world. But I like these aesthetic farms, even though the rows of melons themselves and pumpkins are really straight. Usually you want to make it a little bit more random to go for that texturing kind of feel, but I think it worked really well here. So I'm not going to harvest these farms. And then these monstrous farms here, we're not even going to touch. This is so much... No. The first time I came through and planted all this is the only time I'm ever going to plant this much. Because this is completely and utterly aesthetic, and I do not want to spend hours here harvesting. I think it took me about 6 or 8 hours to plant all this. Welcome to one of the many shulker monsters I have around here in this world. We've just got all sorts of random blocks. Just leftovers from so many different projects. There's a lot of birch wood from breaking down this entire forest because this entire biome used to be birch. Everything you see, all the way from the mesa to the mountains over there in the distance, it was all birch. So we had to come through and clear the whole thing out to make space for all these tree farms and all these crop farms. Let me show you guys my moss farm. So if we come through here, this is a little villager area I was working on, and this is actually incomplete, so just like everything in this world, everything is up for grabs in a future episode. I'll get to it eventually. I do like the texturing of the dirt. Usually I just make skinny paths, but in this area I was playing around with having the whole area be kind of like path, and I think it works well. I just have to figure out exactly how I can bring this area to life, because I do have the palette down for the blocks I want to use in this area. I already have like 5 or 6 houses like this, but it's missing something. It's missing some spark here, so I'm still trying to figure out what it is I'm going to build exactly. These houses over here were a little bit more experimental. They were a different color of wood compared to the normal one here. But aside from the pathing, I think my favorite part of these builds are the mud bricks here, so I'm looking forward to using it more in the future. Now if we come through here, this is actually where I snuck in my moss farm. It's completely horrendous, but if you come down here, you should see, yep, lots of moss. There's some carpet and seeds in there too. It's a little unusually distributed because I did come through here and pick up a lot of moss carpet and regular moss blocks. But fortunately I was able to squeeze it in here. So actually if you look at it from the outside, it's almost impossible to tell that there's a farm in there. Like you really have to be looking through the window to tell there's like obsidian and lava in there. But if you just step back here, you would never know. Another shulker monster. With the usual blocks. It's really funny actually because I try to always keep my inventory pretty organized, but that does not apply to my shulker boxes. With that being said, let's stock up on moss. That'll be good for the time being. Let's close the door behind us. How about that? Yep. Conveniently, I leave ender chests all over the place, so I can just throw this in here. I've gone ahead and color coded all these boxes, and it just so happens that what we've been farming is green. But at least this way, when we go into the chests over here, instead of having a million items, I can just put a couple shulkers full of those blocks. So then when it's time to use it in any build, I can just grab the shulkers themselves. It's funny to me that in these 3 slots right here, we have more bamboo than in all of these slots combined. Actually, it's way crazier because these are blocks. I should do the math on that. Nah, they worked. How's our shulker supply? Nah, we're pretty solid. At some point, I might go again, just for fun. We're going to come over here to this mob farm and look at all these chests. Beautiful, unsorted chests. Oh my god. It's a lot of gunpowder, actually. Oh my god. Bones and gunpowder. The big one we want here is gunpowder because of the rockets. So as you can probably imagine, we've gotten to a point in this world where rockets are super expendable to us. And I really don't have to worry at all about my rocket supply. Alright, 6 stacks of gunpowder never hurt anyone. And then of course the other main thing from here we want are bones, which is super important for making bone meal whenever we're making any sort of moss farm, flower farm, seed farm, even tree farms. They need a lot of bones. Honestly, even though this was one of the first farms I made in this area, I think it's been the most valuable one to me. It might be one of the most efficient ones, but it's definitely the most valuable one because the way it's just boosted up the whole area, words cannot describe how handy it's been. Okay, and we've got 6 shulkers of bones. It's not much, but it's honest work. This was a slightly smaller sugarcane farm we had earlier. I don't even know if it's still producing. Oh, it actually is. That's interesting. It's a little more aesthetic than the other one, and it uses a slightly different design. Because obviously you can't put as many sugarcane next to each other if you're using a piston design. Yeah, the flying machine one is definitely the best late game one, or even like mid game if you have a good slime farm. Let's check up on the iron farm. This is another one of those farms that I disguised as a building. And it's definitely one of the more unique pallets that I've ever made. Wow, how did he get up there? You can probably tell I did not go light on the beds. However, if we come downstairs, not a lot. I guess it's mostly because we're just not loading these chunks anymore. I just don't spend enough time around here. The flowers have been there forever. It was about time I harvested all this. Yeah, I think it's time we make a new iron farm, guys. I'm gonna put it on the to-do list because we need something closer to us. Jeez, the villagers are so loud. And there it is in action. Ooh, how's the bee farm doing? I wonder if it broke in all these years. This is another farm I don't really touch ever. I've really been neglecting it. Ooh. Okay. So it's about half full. That's pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12 large chests of honeycomb. That's solid. However, that is not something we're going to be collecting right now just because I do not have the capacity to deal with it. Oh, speaking of expending rockets, how's the beehive? This is my hexagonal beehive building. You guys like it? It's overkill. It's complete overkill, but I think it's funny. There's definitely more bees than there are beehives. Beehive yourselves. I forgot I made this. Beehive yourselves. I bet some of you guys are interested in seeing. This is a little local map. It's not everything, but it's a good amount of it. So the big farms that we saw earlier are over there. And then this right here is our main storage building. The bay in which we're looking right now is this one right here. And then actually we've got a really big farm up there that we're going to head over to now. If I could find a nearby bed, that would be great. Are there no beds around here? I feel like I had beds. Oh, there we go. When you start playing a lot in the same world, you start to waste a lot of time running to and from your bed. Check out the little bridge I got here. Before we head over to that really big farm I showed you guys on the map, I do want to show you guys something that I had built here. So this is a little aesthetic gold farm because the whole idea of the maze is that you get a lot of gold spawning in the ground. So what I did here is I used some beacons to clear out a massive cavern. By the way, this was way before the Caves and Cliffs update came out. So this actually was a really big cave at the time. Obviously now it looks tiny, but then I went through and I decorated it with some gold ore that I found on my own and silk touched. I think at one point I did plan on making something down here, but I kind of left it to it because I just like the vibe up there. And I left this little bit in the middle so that we could bridge across. So if we come back up, actually, we've got a couple of towers which help support the cranes. And then this path that we're standing on is directly above the hole. And then over here, we've got a little gold processing area purely for aesthetics. So we've got minecarts rolling non-stop back and forth. And the idea is like all the gold that's being mined down there is collected here. And then we've got this big furnace, which actually, if you see on this side, the input is like the gold ore blocks. And then in the furnace with all the lava and the smoke, and then, yeah, I did put some campfires down there. It slowly becomes blocks. So on this side is the output with the blocks. And yeah, we've got a big chunk of gold blocks over here. So these blocks I actually did obtain when I had my old zombie pigman farm. Now that was before the Nether updated, so I ended up resetting my Nether when that update happened because I wanted the new generation. So we actually don't have a gold farm anymore. Now looking at this is super valuable and I'm sad that I don't have absurd amounts of gold. But at some point I think we are going to make a zombie pigman farm again. At the very least we are going to make piglin bartering because I had some informal bartering set up, but it was never like a big operation. Now coming over here across the bridge, you're going to start seeing in the distance some crazy buildings over here. These were definitely way out of scale from everything else, and they took a while to build. I don't know what I was thinking in this area. My favorite is this factory though. I love how the aesthetics of this factory came out. This is when copper was a new thing, so I really popped off and combined it with some of these brick textures, and I think it came out absolutely stunning. I think the iron trapdoors really do it justice, and then at the top the stone slabs are really good with it. And I don't remember if that's tinted glass or if it's black glass. I think it's the new tinted one. Yeah, I think tinted glass was new. But anyways, this is the big building we saw on the map, and it is a dripstone farm. So from what you can see, the water collection system's down here, but we've got a flying machine, and this is the root of it. It's a shame I'm not around here often enough for it to actually produce, but when we are here, it grows relatively quickly considering the size. And I'll show you guys. If we just activate right here the flying machine, it goes across and destroys all the dripstone, and it just drops in the water. This is one of my favorite farms that I made. It's completely over the top, unnecessary, but I love it regardless. I think this is one of the best uses for flying machines. Now, I did have to learn how to make flying machines off of YouTube, but the layout of just having a massive wall of continuous dripstone was my idea. So I guess this is my design. Mousie's dripstone farm. I hope this becomes a thing. It's beautiful. But definitely one of my favorite buildings. As you can probably tell, it is warehouse vibes, so I wanted it to be really open concept and industrial looking, but slightly more modern than the industrial era one we have next door. This one's definitely like 1800s, and then this one's like 1900s industrial. Oh, and the smokestacks, of course. Gotta love the smokestacks up here. Now, if we follow this road over here, it goes into the mega taiga here. You can already see the beacons in the distance, but I do want to show you guys what I've got built over here. Actually, before I show you guys, I'm going to come back and pick up some dripstone. Kind of the whole point of this. Okay, so this is the underground entrance to the collection system. All the way down here. It's really far in because I put it in the center of the farm. So let's put... Oh, these are already full. That's funny. Do I really only have 3 shulkers left? Okay. So yeah, as you can see, there is a decent amount of dripstone. The only problem is, likewise with the other farms, I don't have these chunks loaded often enough to have a large supply. But it's good enough for honestly whatever I need to do. Did I not leave a crafting table in here? I need to leave crafting tables. I was trying to go for a clean aesthetic and I just completely forgot. I feel like this is the last time I ever used granite in a build. Alright, well I'm not going to bother to craft it up into blocks right now. It's still a decent amount, especially because I'm not planning on making any massive builds with dripstone. Not as the primary block at least. Ooh, it's nighttime. Let's come over to the bed right here. We're gonna drop off everything because all the shulkers are full. I hope you guys like this world. This world is like a crazy conglomeration of everything. Maybe it's because I built it, but I'm kind of really judgmental about it at some points. Let's see, dripstone was over here. Yep. Yeah, I was using it. I cleared it out. Okay, dripstone has been put away. We're gonna take the bone shulkers and make them white. If I don't color code these things, I'm gonna go insane. And then the gunpowder is gonna be gray dye, of course. Should be over here. Yep. Oh. Ew. Okay. Yeah, the bone chest is completely overflowing. What about the gunpowder? Oh. Yeah. Expected. Because I actually use it for rockets. Let's take one shulker of gunpowder and sugarcane as well. And we're going to take a moment to stock up on rockets. First though, let me drop off the iron. Let's see. Yeah, it's not a lot of iron. As you can see, I have a lot of blocks. I should probably turn these into blocks. I am going to be needing 4 beacons for the new base though. So very quickly, the majority of this iron is going to go away. Yeah, I need to make a new iron farm. And flowers. Let's see, flowers. Ooh, I might have to make another chest for vegetation. Yeah, when I built this storage area, I was not expecting to have this much. Rockets for days. Things you love to see. I'm actually going to restock my fireworks shulker over here in my ender chest. I always carry around a full shulker with fireworks. So now the half one is going to come in here. So that's full, that's full. And then we're going to make this one full. Ooh, we're going to need more shulkers for this. Yeah, I've been needing to do this for a while now. Okay, we're going to leave these empty shulkers in here. Sugarcane is going to come back right over here. And now we've got all these rockets here. I actually have to make space in this chest. Let's see, let's cap off this one that was half empty. There we go. Now that we've got full. And then we made a little bit of space for these guys. And I have my stack. Okay. I'm wondering if I really want to show you guys that other area. You know what? There are some cool builds over there, but I'm going to leave it for another episode because I want you guys to see it in parts. And especially I don't want to take you guys over there but not work in that area. I don't think there's any farms though. No relevant farms at least. There's just farms all over this world. Like there's so many wheat farms, there's so many cow farms, sheep farms, bamboo farms. The basic farms can be found all over. I'll give you guys a sneak peek of that stuff. Oh my god, it looks crazy from far away. Okay, I'm not going to show you guys too much. Secrets. Well, I'm glad we got some progress done earlier in this episode on the base. These hallways are super dark now that we have the roofs in and I didn't put the lighting in. But that's okay because like I said, this is going to be a progressive project. Let's see. This is the hallway with the lights. So it's just going to be a light bar here out of sea lanterns. And then it's going to extend all over the ceilings of all the hallways. Now each room is going to have a different purpose. I'm thinking these floor level rooms, like these ground level rooms being some sort of trophy room. Oh, listen to that. Oh my god. I need to light this up, you guys. Okay, let me plug up the hole first. Wow, that's a lot of mobs. Can I do it without blowing up? Oh, I don't know if I can. I might die. Oh, that was close. Oh my god. Yeah, I gotta come back here and fill this in. Nah, I don't want to fill it in, but I'm gonna light it up. These are the secret bits I don't want you guys to see. It looks ugly down there. Let's just stay up here. It looks so pretty up here. I love the arrow in the head. The last thing I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna put up a little wireframe of some things that are gonna happen in this space. Okay, let's take a look. So the stairs to go up are gonna be here in the back side. Then right above the front hallway, around here, we're going to have the next section of the build. Let's see. Let's build it up. We want to have some space in between in case we want to make any machines or passageways or different layers of things. So I don't want to restrict myself when it comes to wall thickness. So let's actually go quite a bit up. Let's go. I just had an idea. We could maybe open up the roof here. And then this will actually be kind of like an elytra access point for the space that's going to be right above. Can't lose these items. Love Prismarine. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 should be a good in between because then we still want the roof to be pretty high up. So let's start by making it here. Okay, we made that 25 blocks in this direction. Let's do the same in the other direction. Oh, I fell. All right, this is going to be the width of the room. And then we're going to bring it back I'd say almost to the column. Yeah, probably all the way to the central dome. We're gonna leave, once again, that gap that we need. But let's go a little more. Perfect. Okay, yeah, that should be enough gap. I'll just be mindful when I'm building in this direction. We're gonna go ahead and square it off now. Oh, we went a little bit past. It's here, right? Ooh, I love how it looks at night. That's so cool, you guys. Perfect, lines up. So you're probably wondering what this box is for. And this is gonna be the main room where we store all our treasures. So this is gonna be our treasure room. It's also gonna be a big library as well. And it's gonna function as well as our enchantment space. So it's gonna have 3 functions. So aesthetically, it's gonna be the library, it's gonna be a treasure room, and then functionally, it's gonna be a treasure room and also an enchantment space. And I kind of wanted it to be in the middle because we are gonna have the treasures in here. So I think this is a cool place to store and display these things. At some point, I'm probably gonna build a proper museum as well for certain types of collectibles. But I think just for like straight up rare items such as the dragon egg or things like that, we are gonna keep it in this room. And if I had to guess, we're probably looking at a 10 block tall ceiling. We could go taller though. Oh, we have so much space. Yeah, let's do 15 block ceiling. Yeah. Okay, we can do some cool layering with that. I want the entrances of this to be diagonal, so we're actually gonna have this come in this direction. So this little diagonal is kind of gonna represent the fact that we're going across over here. That's gonna be one entrance, and it's gonna connect over here to whatever tower we build or walkway access point. And now in the other corner, we're gonna do the exact same thing. Already starting to take shape. It's gonna have some more volume to it once we get the room built. And I'm already picturing other things that are going to be here too, but I don't want to spoil too much. My biggest thing when showing you guys this process is I want you guys to know that when people online make these mega bases on their YouTube channels, it doesn't take just a few hours. It doesn't take a couple of days. They spend hours and hours and hours and days on it, and even weeks on it, sometimes even months. So don't be discouraged when you see everybody doing mega builds and like it looks like they do it super fast just because they finish it in a 30-minute video. If you ever want to try building something big in your own survival world, you should really take your time with it, and you don't have to finish it all in one sitting. You don't have to do it all in a row. Kind of what I'm doing here. I'm building it a little bit out, and then I'm going to other places in my world and working on other projects. And that helps you to also build up some inspiration. You know, maybe being in a different area, you come up with things that you need in your main base or in your mega build. Or even it gives you the time to just watch YouTube videos or talk with friends, play with friends, see what you guys like. And you get so many new ideas out of doing all that. So I highly recommend breaking up bigger projects into smaller pieces, you guys. My goal is going to be to work on the build at least a little bit on every episode of the Forever World, regardless of what we're doing the rest of the episode. And little by little, we should have a finished base eventually. But with that being said, you guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of exploring my world and then working on some little farming things. And I hope you enjoy seeing the progress on the mega base. It's a big project to tackle, but I'm really having fun with it and I don't want to burn out from it, so I'm looking forward to it. If you guys are enjoying the videos, don't forget to subscribe and like. It really does help the algorithm, and that way you can keep up with all my content as soon as I upload it. Thanks again for watching, you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.